welcome. We want to show you how to use your SAFER score and review all that data there. I know it's a lot, it can be overwhelming. So we're going to try to simplify some of it for you. So if you'll follow along with me, if you see up here in the URL, we've got safter.fmcsa.dot.gov, and then you're going to want the CompanySnapshot.aspx. Once you're there, you should know your DOT number. It's public information. I'm going to use this DOT number here. You can also look it up by MC number or the name of your business, but you need to make sure you get that name exactly right if you're going to search that way. Also, I will tell you, searching by name, if you have to use special characters such as and or any of those #, it's not going to work well. So best bet is use that DOT number, and we're going to look up this one. This one has quite a bit of data that we're going to look at. So if you'll take a look, this is the main page when you start. Over here to the right, it's going to say SMS Results. That's where we're going to look at your score. If you wanted to look at your licensing and insurance information, there's a link right below that. Down below here kind of gives an overview of your company status. You're going to show your entity. If you're a carrier, it's going to show if you're active or not. It shows your DOT number, when your MCS 150 form, the date on that in which it was filed last. Also, name and address of the business are here. You can have a different mailing address, but this physical address is what they're going to be looking at as well. And this name here is how most of the insurance carriers match up so that you can actually get the insurance linked to your FMCSA. So if those are off and you're not getting insurance updates on FMCSA, likely that's the first place you'd want to start. All right, so down below here, it tells the owner classification, the operation classification. It gives the carrier operation, whether you're interstate or intrastate. It also tells what kind of cargo you carry. And then there's a summary of your inspections right here down below. It gives some numbers, the out of service and number of inspections for vehicles, drivers, hazmat. You're going to want to pay attention to the number of inspections by vehicle and by driver, because when you get put out of service for any reason, doesn't mean you get a ticket. It just means maybe something's wrong with the vehicle and it has to be fixed before you continue on. Those out of service numbers, every time you get one of those, they take this number and divide it by this number and get this percentage. And then they're always going to list the national average as well. We'll see that on the next page. Same thing for drivers. So just pay attention to those. These two numbers here, 25% and 7.8%, can really affect your insurance if you're way off of those national average numbers. So let's go on in and let's click on this linked SMS results and start taking a look. The easy way, if you want to see all your data at one time, is to click on this tab here, see your data, and you can actually scroll down and you're going to see all of the performance and results from the inspections. You'll have a summary here of all the violations along with these totals here. So number of violations that resulted in this infraction and the severity weight listed here. And so you'll see all of those there. But if you want them broken down, there's the inspection history just below that. And it's going to give you right here the date that the inspection occurred, the number tied to that inspection, the state in which the inspection occurred, and the license plate of the truck that was being driven. And so you'll see violations listed here, and this is what I was talking about. When you see these letters, OOS, out of service, that vehicle was put out of service for this particular inspection. Also, you'll just see all kinds of things from vehicle inspections, and then also you'll see, these are all the vehicle ones that we're looking at here, and we'll get into that a little bit more in just a minute. So you can see this is a pretty large client. They've had 77 inspections, so they're going to have some data here. There's also some crash data on here as well. But if we want to look at this data and break it down by category, you come back to the middle of this page and we can start going across the page here. Unsafe driving is the first category: crash indicator, hours of service, maintenance, controlled substances, hazardous material compliance, and driver fitness. Each one of these 7 categories is rated through DOT inspection. So let's start with unsafe driving. And once that loads, you're actually going to see, and this graph here is going to give you results and how your score is trending. So since March of 2024, you can see they had the same score up until August, and it's dropped off, which means they had some good inspections in regard to that, or they had one of their crashes roll off. And then down below that, you're going to see violation summary and inspection summary. The inspection summary is just always going to give you more detail, I think, and it's a little easier to follow. So you're going to look at this here, and you're going to see, hey, there was a failure to obey a traffic control device, whether it was a stop sign, whatever, a light that was run. And it's not going to give you any other information other than the inspection number, the state where it happened, and the license plate of the truck. And then it also comes, all of these scores come with a severity weight. The severity weight is 5, and then it has a time score of 1, and giving you a total weight of 5. So when this first occurred back in August 22nd of 2023, you'll see in a minute some of these time weight scores show a 3. And that's when they first happened. They're weighted more heavily if they're more recent. So you would get a severity score of 5. If this was a 3, this number would be a 15, which would increase this number in the denominator, which would increase your score. So you want to be real careful to pay attention to those. And I'm going to move on quickly to crash indicator, and then we're going to look at hours of service, just so you can kind of see what's going on. So you can see the same trend here. They did have a couple of crashes indicated both in April and June for this company. You can get breakdowns of these. It's going to tell you all the crashes total on the report, which is 4. It's going to tell you if there was any fatalities, injuries, and towaways. And so you definitely want to avoid fatal crashes that really harms your insurance score for certain. And I know we talked a little bit about insurance scores and how policies are rated, but as a whole, the SAFER score is one of the factors that they use for rating. And so they weight some of these violations heavier than others. And so fatality would be one of those. So if you look down here, you can see on the crashes, they had a couple in June, one in April, and another one in the prior June of 2023. And it tells you by each incident, was there an injury? There's 1. There's 2 injuries on this one. Was there a towaway? In each case, there was a towaway. And then here's the severity that we were talking about. This one was the most recent. As you can see, the severity score, or the time weight score, is a 3, and severity is a 2. So you have 2 times 3 gives you the 6, and then 2 times 3 is 6. And then this one had a lesser severity because there was no injuries, and so you just had the towaway, so that resulted in a score of only 3 with the time weight. Now next year, this will drop to a 2, and the year after that to a 1. So its weight against you, or the way it's counted against you, kind of diminishes over time. So that's that. Most people have issues with hours of service compliance and vehicle maintenance from what I've seen. Now, hours of service compliance have to do with your ELD device and whether your driver is driving too many hours most of the time or not. And so if you look at these inspections, you'll see some information down here. As we click through, you're going to see, hey, the non-ELD violation no record of duty status when one is required. So there was just no record of how many hours this driver was driving, so he got put out of service. And so that's going to count against your percentage for drivers out of service. And you want to be real careful. You don't want those to happen. Both of these have both caused their driver to be put out of service temporarily. Doesn't mean they can't drive. It just means they can't drive until they clear their record of duty status. So both of those are the two issues there. You can see the rest of these, when these are all zero, are actually helpful because they result in a zero score, but all the rest of these scores, let me move this up here just a little so we can see it a little better. So if you see this score down here, 75 divided by 139, comes directly from this number here, 75, and the time weight score of 139 to give you the 0.53. Now, when it comes to both drivers and vehicles, any score under 4 is, of course, better than a score over 4, but insurance companies start flagging people when they get over a 4 in either of the driver or the vehicle categories. So you want to be real careful. This is actually a pretty good score. And so you want to make sure that you get that as low as possible. And the other thing that I've failed to mention about all of this is the insurance carriers actually have 3 years of data. And if you look back here, these are only going to go back really 2 years of data for you to see on your own business. So it's important that you pay attention to these. See, this is almost, we're coming up on the 3rd year here. This one's going to drop off your ability to see it, but the insurance carriers are actually looking 3 years back. So pay attention to the things that drop off in the end of the 2nd year, because their insurance carriers are still using this data to rate you, even though it's June of 2025. They'll still use these pieces of data to rate your company. So that is drivers drivers and hours of compliance. And then when next is vehicle maintenance, it is probably the one that gets the most violations, I should say. And so you can see here, this company, had a score of 7.17, and then it trended over time. It stays pretty level. It goes up a little bit, from March to August. But if we look down here, we want to look at this breakdown of inspection history for the vehicles. And so you're going to want to look at what caused my vehicles to have issues. So you're going to want to have somebody in your company, especially if your company's big enough, that's just paying attention to these scores. Hey, I had an inoperative turn signal. If you're not a very big company, you need your drivers to actually pay attention and tell you when they get a violation, so you can either fix what's going wrong or be aware of what's going wrong. Because just because you have an inoperative turn signal on that truck and the driver fixes it and moves on down the road doesn't mean you might not want to look at the rest of your lights on that truck, because maybe they're aging to the point to where they're starting to fail. Also, you'll see here one of the biggest out of services is not just turn signals that are not operating correctly, but brakes that are out of service. And there's various reasons for brakes to put you out of service. It can be an air leak. It can be a chafed brake line. It can be too much wear on the brake itself. And so it's saying, look, it's less than equal to or greater than 20% of the service brakes on the vehicle are out. The tires, you need to pay attention to your tires. You have pressure limits on those. So you want to pay attention to make sure they're aired up properly. They're going to check for audible air leaks and notice if there's anything going on, and they will put you out of service for that too. Also, there's other things on the vehicle. This has a wheel seal leaking, so it is imperative that you take time to review and pre-inspect your vehicles before you take off for the day. that will reduce this score for your business over time. Just make sure you take care of things. I know there's certain things that are very difficult to overcome out on the road. You know, you hit something, you have a small leak in a tire, you're unaware of it, looks good tread. Just pay attention, check the tire pressure, check everything you can on that vehicle before you take off each day. And then also, if you're driving it for lengthy periods of time, you may want to check things over, or at least do a walk around on the driver brakes as well when they're taking breaks. So that's your vehicle information. There's a lot of information there. We don't have time to cover all of that. And then the next tab is the controlled substances. So if you have a driver taking medication, you need to be aware of it. They do not need to be driving when they're taking anything that causes drowsiness. That can cause you to have a violation, or drugs, or any other types of alcohol, things like that. So you want to make sure that those are clean, because those will actually affect your safer score. Also, if you're hauling hazardous materials, just make sure you're in compliance with those regulations. Otherwise, you'll get an inspection history. This particular client doesn't have any hazardous materials that they haul. And then the last tab here across this page, tab number 7, is driver fitness, and I think sometimes we take that for granted. As you can see, they have low scores here, and they're trending in a good direction. But drivers do need to have their physicals on time and make sure that those things have happened so that they're ready to go. But also, if you'll notice right here, operating a commercial motor vehicle without a CDL when it's required will put you out of service, and that means that that driver is not fit to be driving that particular vehicle. So that will result in a few different infractions, and that will create a score here as well. So the insurance carriers are looking at all 7 of these areas, just kind of as a wrap up. All 7 of these areas, you want to make sure you've reviewed your scores. And they are actually looking at data that goes 3 years back. You can only see 2 years back on this page here that we talked about on the FMCSA. So you're going to want to pay attention to this routinely. I would screenshot it. I would make sure that I was paying attention of what was falling off of my record, so that I know, hey, if I had some really bad stuff fall off, even though it's only, not appearing on here now, you may think your safer score looks great, but the insurance companies may be using something from 3 years ago that's still kind of harming your insurance scores for their rating system. So just be careful out there. Take care of your vehicles, take care of your drivers, make sure you're doing all the right things when you hire drivers, and we'll talk more about that another time. But thank you for your time and attention. Hope you have a great day.